Hey y'all, it's Melissa at MessyMissy Creates. I have been struggling, because I had two options, and, well, I had more than two options, but two options that I was trying to decide between, and anyway, I ended up on this. Now, Hope had sent me some papers in a Happy Mail recently, and which kind of really sparked my interest in the green, more of the green and orange approach. And throw some teal in there too. I originally was gonna do teal and orange, but then Hope had given me some papers that this is kind of a teal houndstooth, and this is a greener with yellow, like a real muted yellow flower. This green sweater, of course I could have saved that for Christmas, but anyway. And then this is kind of some gourds that's greened out, if that makes sense. It's showing up in the camera lighter than it is. It has a pale green background. And so she piqued my interest on the green take, partly because I had this paper from last year in my Michaels paper pad that had the orange and green pumpkins. And I was doing teal last year, so I decided to, try to incorporate the green. This wasn't quite green, but it really matches this. So I kind of took the green and ran with it a little bit, but I still found myself, this is a printable digital kit that I bought. And again, I forgot to look at the Etsy shop's name that I bought this, but I'm able to print double-sided. Now this turned out bluer than I intended, but this had green in it and a little bit of the teal, and this had the white. But you saw my white pumpkin label, or my numbers, and they were white with kind of a muted teal. And that was partly because of this paper. I love white pumpkins anyway. I have my mantle. You saw the picture of my mantle. And so this has wood grain. And then I did some kind of muted orange and teal and white pumpkins. Just extra pumpkins. As well as the October and then the Happy Halloween. Just if you're... I don't know. Anyway. So having made this, I was going, because the stem is green, the numbers are kind of a greenish teal, and that was kind of what I was playing on. However, she sent me some other papers, this one being the first one I saw, and I fell absolutely in love with this sapphire blue pumpkin. But I didn't have a lot to go with it. I did find... And I know you're going to go, why didn't you use that? When you see how pretty it is. I found this piece of fabric. I bought a jelly roll because I didn't have much fall paper, and I knew I couldn't get to a store, so I ordered a jelly roll off Amazon. I don't recommend that because A, you don't know what you're getting, and B, it wasn't cheap. But I knew I couldn't get to a store, and I knew that I had to get this made. And so, but anyway, I didn't have enough blues. She gave me some other blues in here. But what I decided to do was to save them. I think I'm going to do them next year. And so, that was a very, very tough decision. I still kind of held on to the thought that I would use this as my cover page for my journal, and I haven't totally given up on that, except I know that I have this, and so that makes me want to save it for next year and do the blue, that kind of royal or sapphire blue. But anyway, that's kind of where I was. But I had already gotten these dies, and yes, I dyed paper without you. I did not video it. Y'all, I was struggling to get it done. And after the kitchen catastrophes that I had, you know, I was like, there's no way I have either the time nor I didn't want to have to clean up dye. My carpet cleaner broke. So there was no cleaning up carpets this time until I get another one. So I did it in, this is the Marigold, which turned out to be a very light yellow. I may not have made it dark enough. This is I think it was called Tangerine. And you can see this first one got darker than the last ones. Or vice versa. I think I either watered it down or added more. I can't remember. But anyway, and then the kind of green, this was what I used Rit dye. And they called this Kelly green. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too bright, but it's actually perfect. And then this was teal. Now, one of these is much darker, or two of these are darker than the other one. I just knew I was doing about 3 pages of each. I was trying to get it done quickly yesterday, but look at that I love the colors. So typically what I do is about half and half scrapbook paper, half either dyed or book pages. So I figured I'd use 2 of each of the dyed papers, and then, so that gives me 8, and then I would need 8 scrapbook papers. However, I'm going to set these to my side. When I found this digital kit, I'm like, and then I was having trouble getting my printer to print. So I did not get this done earlier today. I had already printed, I had this sweater paper. Y'all saw the teal and the yellow, the gold, I think. But there was a green and an orange. So I printed that on the back of that. That way I don't have to worry about color on those pages or these pages. Now, my guess is I'm going to have a really hard time covering this. And I'm going to have a really hard time cutting this. And I am going to have to cut about 3 inches off of it. So, you might hear me cry a little bit. But it'll be alright. And then, I did look in the book. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 of the ones that she gave me. 5, 6, 7. I had another one. Oh, here's another one I printed. 8. It has the green one. Yeah, I showed you this one. This is the one that was bluer than I thought on the back. I thought this was gonna, well, it's the same color as that. Anyway, but this gives me my 8 scrapbook pages. So when you cut it down like that, you don't end up using near as much scrapbook paper. Now, I was going to use a green journal. Initially, I looked high and low for a green book, and I finally found a green book. But then, when I got the jelly roll in, I got this, and it matched, it has green in it. It matched one of the green covers, but the book was so big, these pages were not going to fit in it. They would have gotten swallowed up by it. Because these were already cut down to 12 by 9. So and then I remembered that I had pulled this book out. And you see the little devil on it? Let me hold it closer so you can see that. I don't know if you can see the little red devil. He's holding his tail. This is an old cookbook, and it's called the Hellfire Cookbook. Hot, spicy, and delicious recipes. Which I thought was very bizarre. Yeah, that's going in the... I'm not saving it. Anyway, I just showed you. I was just showing you. It's from the... See, it's got little pictures of the devil. Anyway, I thought the little... I mean, I can easily... Oh, 1975. Okay. There's plenty of little devil images in here. I can use some book pages, but I don't have to have them. Because I have plenty of dyed pages. So, there's nothing special about these pages, so I think I'm just going to take them apart. And I think I did this without you last time. You can tell by this one that it's sewn in, but sometimes it's misleading. And it's actually sewn and glued in, but this one looks pretty loose, so it might not be. So I'm going to cut very gently. Well, let's do it laying down. That blade used to be super sharp. Now it's not so much. I just need to get through this little bit of book cloth right here. Yeah. A little bit of book cloth. So, anyway, we're... Uh-oh. Did I cut the... Oh, phew. I thought I cut the cover. I'm like, please don't cut the cover. Okay. Alright. Well, that is coming out of there with the book block. So, the papers I'm using for the inside cover are, I'll show you in just a second. It was hard. Okay, I got the book block out. No one was injured. I'm setting it to the side. I am curious though. Let me recap this because I don't need it anymore and I don't want to cut my fingers. I am a little curious though if I can pull this apart in signatures, and I think that I can, even though it was glued. The glue is pretty, it would be pretty easy to get all of that off if I really wanted to use the book pages. So I don't know that I am, but that's, let me bang this off in the trash. Okay. Well, that didn't really do a whole lot. Now let me do it again. Okay. As you can see, the inside cover is pretty dirty. When I was thinking about using this as my cover, my journal cover, because on the cover you're not going to journal on the front or back, so it would be a plain, you wouldn't put anything on it unless you put like October or whatever. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route, because I was having a hard time finding end pages, the cover pages that would match that or weren't so busy. I thought about these turquoise. She gave me 2 of these turquoise plaids, but they were just a little short, and that would have been fine. But I think I'm going to use this one, and I think I'm going to go ahead and glue them in. Let's see. I need 6 inches. Let me measure the height. Nine and an 1/8. Really? Okay. Well, this one has to get pretty specific if you want to cover up the dirty part. So 9 and 1/8 or 2/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 9 and 1/8. And then, so I will cut that down to 9 and 1/8. I don't always do this first, but I think I'm going to this time. 9 and, I think that's 1/8. I'm going to go a hair taller just to make sure that I can cover it up. Sorry, my husband was just calling me. So I have this as a scrap. It's not quite 3 inches, but it'll make a good pocket. And then I do believe I can make the 6 inch, just cutting it in half, work. Boy, ever since I changed my blade, that has just worked like a charm. Or like a champ, whatever. But this is what I think I'm going to use. So, and I don't think we're going to have oh, I didn't even think about the fabric. Eek. Well, I really wish that I had been able to, I could have found some that I printed out, but this would have been a good end cover. It just didn't work out. So I think we're going to just live with that. Or I have other fabric. Let me see if I have a plainer one for the inside. This came with a bunch of, you know what a jelly roll is, right? They're like 2.5-inch strips that are just rolled up and you make a mess with them. But they do great for spines, and there was lots of blues. There was the green truck with the sunflower. Here's some fall leaves. Just some light blue. This one says, this one's blue, but it's Halloween. Wasn't that crazy about that one. I mean, this one, not this one. I like this one. That was blue and teal. That's very bright blue. Sunflower. This one I think I'm going to use for November. Some of the pages that she gave me, I am going to save. And see, here's another blue one I could use next year. Here's that blue that I'm going to use. Well, actually, that's not the one I showed you. This is the one I'm going to use next year. This is the one I showed you. But I thought there was another like white one that didn't have, it wasn't so busy, but apparently I was wrong. All right, let's see if we can get these back in the drawer. Yeah, that one I'm going to do the magenta, I think, for November. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless I do, I mean, that's the one I was talking about using for November. That wouldn't look so bad with them. But what is going to be my cover of my journal? I'm not sure which of these pages is going to be my front. Perhaps this one with the green pumpkin, depending on how much I have to cut. And I may cut 1.5 inches. I hate doing that. That's going to be hard to cut 3 inches off of that bottom out and cut that orange pumpkin out completely. But I may have to. But I just don't think that's going to look good with that. So I think I'm just going to wrap the teal around. And we're just going to go with it. We'll decide which one's going to be the front cover when we get to it. We're already 20 minutes in or 17 minutes in or whatever. So I was going to try to do this. Oops. Let me get out a new not so sticky glue paper and my glue stick. I might as well go ahead and get these glued in while I'm here because I already have them cut out, and that's not usually the first thing I do, but we're going to today. And those are very dirty, and I want to cover them up. Let's see. That didn't want to twist up. The glue stick. It's that, I don't know. Maybe not. But this was the plainest that matched. It's got this little orange rim around it. It was aside from having just like, I guess what would have been ideal is just to have like a plaid or something like that. That might have been ideal. Something a little more solid. I know plaid's not solid, but you can use plaid or polka dot as a solid if you didn't know that. All right, so I think that looks good. Let's get this one glued down. Let me flip her over because we have glue on her. And let's get this one in, and then we'll get our fabric on and let it sit there and dry and think about how it likes its new life. But yeah, I really struggled with that. It's been a bit of a crazy week too. Y'all heard my woes of last week. Well, it's kind of been, I mean, nothing that catastrophic, but I did drop eggs on my clean kitchen floor. I had some eggs sitting on the counter loose, and I do not like wasting my eggs because my girls work hard on those eggs, and I work hard feeding those girls the nutrition they need to lay the eggs. And so I try to treasure each one of them that they give me. And yeah, it just didn't, I had them. There were some that needed to be washed. I don't wash all of them, but until I get ready to use them. But anyway, it rolled right off the counter, splat right on my carpet floor, of course. Yeah, I'm not that crazy about that, but we're not going to see much of it. So let's see where do we want to start? I think we want to start here. And then I sure hate, well, at least I can see what the top and the bottom is. That almost looks upside down to me. It does. Let's try it from the other angle, where more of the pumpkins are right side up. Okay, so we're going to glue this on here. Now, I could cover this up. I have this Fall Girl from like Illustrated Faith printable that I've had for several years. She was probably October from 4 or 5 years ago. She matches. But I think because it's October, that's just a little, it's like, okay, I'm all about the pumpkins, but here's this little devil over here for Halloween. So I think that will work. And I think what I'm going to do is, well, my plan was to try to tack it down here and then wrap it. But I'm not 100% sure I can get that as lined up as I'm going to want to have it lined up. Hold on while I open my new box of, sorry, I should have already had that done. Should be our glitter, or no, Fabri-Tac. I was due for a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. And anyway, I'm doing good to have this video made today. I tried and tried and tried this morning, and then I needed to print one more page. And my printer decided it was not going to communicate with my phone or my iPad, either one of them. And I'm like, I really need you to work today. I needed to get this video made this morning so I could get it out today. So now it's, and then I had a doctor's, I've had appointments every day this week. My mother-in-law's had appointments. It's just been an appointment kind of week. And so, let's see. I'm going to line this up on that 17. Or just because that's right there. And then I'm going to, no, you don't scoot. The book has to scoot. Okay, so I want the book right in the center of the, material. Okay. I don't usually start on the inside. I usually start on the outside. But I wanted to just kind of tack this down. Oh, look how good that, how well that flows. Yay. Okay, don't volcano on me. Don't erupt. Okay. Oh, that's soaking wet. Well, this will work. I was going to say, if I was a bone folder, where would I be? Okay, I just need you to stay long enough for me to flip this over and glue the front. So we're going to cover up the Hellfire Cookbook part. I wasn't that crazy, but I don't know what made me buy this book, but I've had it for a very long time. But it was the right size. It's the size that I like. It's in that kind of 9 1/4 by 6 1/2 or 6 size range. And so, yes, we do judge books by their covers, right? I know that you grow up learning not to do that, but as junk journalers, that's exactly what we do, is we judge books by their covers and by the quality of the pages too, whether they're sewn in or not or whatever. But here lately, I've been judging them by their covers because I've been judging them by the color of their covers. Okay. Hopefully that went somewhat straight. I don't think it did. But, so a jelly roll, if you don't know, and I don't know I know what a fat square is. I know what, I'm not a sewer. But I've bought a jelly roll before, so I kind of knew what to expect. They're just like 2.5-inch strips. And for what we do, they're perfect. But it was like $16. And I don't know how many I got. But there's a lot of them in there I will not use. So that kind of felt like a little bit of a waste. But there was some that I really, really liked. And this is one of them. So here I spent all morning trying to make this match a green book that was the right size, and then I forgot all about having this orange book that I had found the other day. And I don't know why in the world, I was like, had this aha moment this morning. Hey, that might actually work. Okay. It might actually work. And then I'm going to coat this, and I'm going to jump up on here a little bit. And then we're probably going to put, I know on the front side we're going to put some ribbon, but anyway, I could have put another piece of tape, like my book binding tape or whatever, on this to secure it, but for a month journal, I don't feel the need. I think the fabric does a good enough job at that. I think it does a pretty good job. And okay. I have a rounder end. Maybe that'll be smoother. Come on. Okay. I think we're stuck enough to cut. I wish I had my pinking shears or something, because this has kind of got a deckled edge to it, but oh, I could at least use my fabric scissors. That would probably be a great idea, rather than butchering it with my paper scissors. Okay, I've only got a little bit of that left, but it came with 2 pieces each, so I'm not that worried about that. Let me, I am, however, worried about this because I cut it a little short, and that's okay because I want that to be kind of seamless there. Not exactly what I'd call seamless. That looks like a double pumpkin, but it was pretty close. So I was trying to combine back to the Fabri-Tac there. I was trying to combine my big bottle and my small bottle. And yeah, neither one of them wants to pour into the other. So let's lay this flat. This is the top, and well, here is what I've chosen to be my ribbon. I really liked this teal, especially with the white running through it. What do you think about that? And I can put it on both sides if I want, but I definitely want it on the front. And I'll trim that after I'll go ahead and glue it on so it can be drying as well. I think I'm going to just put it right at the edge of that fabric. So I put my Fabri-Tac away a little prematurely. I'm going to put just a drizzle right along the edge of that fabric. I think I used more than I needed for a ribbon. But this is a thick, it's thick and it's wide, if that makes sense. Okay, I went in a little too far with the glue right here, but that will be fine. I think that's somewhat straight. Okay. It's on there. I'm going to cut right here. And then I may wait till that dries to trim that up. But I think it's very pretty. So I'm going to, oh, I didn't even see that. Anyway, I don't know if I'll put my October here or not, but I'm going to lay this flat and let it dry. If I can find a place to lay it flat. Yeah. I think it's already pretty much dry. I felt the inside and it really was not even cool anymore. So, okay, we are halfway through the video. But I don't think we're halfway through making the journal. So, shoot. What did I say those were? 9 1/4 and let me bring it back out. Oh, the 6, I think. That's what we made the end pages. And depending on what I did with my ruler, here we go. I just want to measure. Best way to measure is measure the pages that came out of the book. So that's a little over 6 by 9 1/8. 9 2/8. 9 1/8. So 9 by 6 is perfect. So that will be perfect, which is exactly what these already are. So let me move that back. Let it dry. So we have the ones that Hope sent us all ready to go. Now, I think I'm not going to use this other teal houndstooth. And here's why. Because I think I want to use it for tags in the journal. Because with all, I think it matches all the patterns. Or pretty much all of them. So I'm going to save one out and use as tags. I have another. She gave me the 3-inch strip off of it. So I can use that for pockets. But anyway, so I have these 4 already cut. So that's 4. Let me, oh mercy. I'm going to have to cut into these. And in hindsight, had I not already printed on these, I might have used this one for the inside cover. But I already had them printed because I had 2 of them. I already had them printed on both sides. And I like the print on both sides. I went on Etsy this morning looking for green and orange pumpkins. Because I wanted just a couple more pages that I could print on the back side of the pages I was already using. And then a couple of them I decided not to use. Did I print? I don't know. And then I was having such trouble getting it to print that, print that I got frustrated with it and said, never mind. So I'm cutting all my pages down 9 by 12. And these will give me great pockets. Okay, so that has the green sweater on the back. This one has the kind of yellowish orange sweater on the back. It was supposed to be orange, but I think it's more gold than orange. So 9. And we have that strip. So that's 6, I think. And then, okay, here comes the crying. Now I ended up abandoning all of these and Halloween paper and my typical fall colors. Because I was going for that green and teal, and like this is a light green, that's a teal, and this is an orange. Now, okay, I know I don't want it off this end. Well, what does that give me? No, cuts the top of that pumpkin off. I think if we go this way, it'll just cut the bottom of that orange pumpkin off. Oh, what does it do to the back side though? Do I want to know? Not really. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, don't cry. Okay, it cut here, but this will make a really pretty pocket. See, there's the top to the blue. So here's, oh, that page is fine. It has plenty of pumpkins. I could go ahead and fold them, huh? But I'll wait. That's pretty. Because I don't know if I want them this, you know, which way. But that, I think that was 7. And this would be 8. Yeah, we're definitely cutting the bottom of this one too. Because I want the white pumpkins on there. I hope I went to 9 and not 8 on that last one. Because they look about the same to me. Okay. So, that was the piece. We ended up with that. And this is super pretty with the white pumpkin. The white pumpkin on the back. And then we got the blue in the middle. I think that's 8. Oh, wait. I'm not done. I could use some of the book pages like we already talked about. I'm thinking if I use 2 of each color, I dyed 4 different colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have to use this yellow. I really had high hopes for it. I like that one. But yeah, I like it okay. I love the orange. I did a few extra of the orange. And then the teal I already had, but I didn't have this shade of teal. So, let's see. I need to cut this down to 9, which is just going to cut off like an inch or a ½ inch or whatever. It's not going to cut off much. And, right, 9-inch height. Nope, that is not straight. Why is that not straight? This little drawer right here bugs me because it catches on this little lip and it won't let me put the cutter where I want it. Trying to figure out why the paper is buckling. Okay. Anyway, one of these days, I'm saving all these. One of these days, I'm going to make some paper beads out of them or something. So that was 9. And then this needs to be 6. Right? Because these are already folded. And look how pretty that's going to look with those pumpkins. Yeah. 9 by 6. That's what I wanted. Okay. So that's 9. These I actually can make writing spots with. Let me do 2 of the teal. And then we'll decide on the yellow later. Because I could always pull in 2 more scrapbook pages. But I really have enjoyed my dyed pages. Okay, 6. Now, I could leave some of these and have a flap. But it's really too small of a flap. I mean, no, I can leave a flap. Let me fold it because, let me see how big it will be. Let's see. 7, 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be right here. Ruler, Bueller. How fast can you lose a ruler? Aha. Well, let's try 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here would be, and here's my bone folder, so we could score that and have a little flap. That would be big enough for a tuck. So I'll do that. That second one didn't score quite as well, but it still folded in the right spot. So we'll leave it be. This one had some orange or green or something. I'm trying to remember which one I did last. I think I did teal last. So it must have had a little bit of green. I think I went yellow, orange, green, teal. And there must have been a hair of the green left in the, even though I scrubbed the pan. Okay, do I want, this one is a darker and this one's a lighter, or I have two darker ones? I'm not sure. No, I have two lighter ones. I have dark and light, so I'm going to use one of each. Let me move the teal out of my way. I'm done with the teal. So we're just going to, oops, I close that up. Going to 9. That. And then I will, let me cut them both down to 9, and then I'll score the little flaps there. There we go. Those are cut down to 9. And then the orange, I want one of the dark and one of the light, I think. Yeah, we might as well. Some of those I'm going to use for backing of tags and clusters and things like that. So I made sure I did at least 3 per, well, I did like 5 orange and 4, I think 4 or 5 yellow. Those were the first ones I did. And then I got down and only had 6 papers left without reopening or opening up another comp book. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave them. You know, I'm going to cut some of these because I want the little scraps. Because these will make good, my little journaling spots, like a small one. So let me cut one of these. That way I have one in each color that has scraps and one has the pockets or the little tucks. Okay, so there's that one. I've lost count at this point, but it's okay. So I've got that one I cut. So this one I'm just going to cut it down to 9. See, I keep going to that 8. Okay, so this one I'm going to flap. So we have 2 orange, 2 teal, 2 green. Do I use the yellow? Well, let's look at our papers. Does it match that? Yes. Does it match this? Sure. Does it match that? Not really. It definitely matches that one. And I mean, it'll go with any of these. See, I do have some white backgrounds right here. One of these has a gold or an orange. I'm thinking about just doing one. Do I just want to do one yellow? This was gonna be my favorite, and it's not my favorite. This one was, I believe it was called Marigold, and it's not my favorite, but it can't help that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one down to 6. If I don't use another yellow, then I need to either pull in a book page or another scrapbook paper. Let me see what else out of here. I could use this one. Wait a minute. I know which one I could use. I could use this one. Although I had decided I was going to save that. I'm going to save that one for November. Yeah, I'm going to use these 3 for November because I'm going to do the magenta and kind of a real deep burgundy, and then these little purple pumpkins with the bunnies. Oh my goodness. You're going to see me cry covering these pages. I probably need to make that one the cover. because there's no way I can cover all those bunnies like that. It's just not going to happen. So those 3 I'm saving for November. And I could use this one. This one's just a little different. It's still kind of got it's like a reddish orange. Let's see. I don't know what it would go up against as far as matching. That. I mean, if it was back to back with that one wouldn't be bad. I could do that. And skip a yellow. I sure do like my dyed pages though, but these will make great journaling spots. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take them all out. Let's move the cutter. Hope was so nice to have already cut down some of these for me. And I just had to find the book that matched the size. So, oh, I needed to score. Hold on. I got ahead of myself. I need to score these because I didn't cut them. 16, 22. Line it up right there. Do it twice, maybe that'll help. And then fold it. And then let's fold this one. Well, it doesn't really, it's not really that scored, but we have a, okay, thing to go by. And again, score. So we're not going to have any large flaps on this, and I think I remember telling y'all last month to remind me not to have a bunch of flaps, although some of them did come in handy. I can always add flaps, but I do like having a tuck option. You know, just let me score this one on its own. It's not wanting to cooperate because it's kind of rippling right there. Let's see if I can get that lined up. 16, and then this one right here. Okay, that should be fine. It's a little shorter, but that's okay. Shorter is okay. All right, here's all my pretty scraps. Yay. Look at all my pretties. Okay, and then my scrapbook paper scraps. And then the ones that Hope gave me, I have. Okay, so I'm going to put these together. We only did 1 yellow. We did 2 orange, 2 teal, 2 green, and one of the marigold. The other ones were just so light that I don't think that they would. I don't know. It would be all right. It would be okay either way. Okay. So, which one am I going to use for my cover? Well, I'm tempted to use this one, but see, the green is on the other side. Wouldn't that be perfect, though? But it's the wrong way. What does this side look like? That one would have a blue pumpkin. Let's look at the inside of our book now that it's had a chance to dry. So let's look at this one. I think this one still is going to win. I should have folded these before I... Come on. That may still win. I know that's busy with that and that pattern, but I really should have found one that I could have printed a... Let's get these folded, and then we will, there's only 8 of them. I'm running out of time. So I will either, I thought maybe we could at least get them arranged this time, on this video. But that may not happen. And I need to go sit with my mother-in-law in a little bit. I'm going to fold that one inward. We may make that one our center fold. I don't know. We can always fold them back the other way. Okay, so these are white pages. So we'll still do a little bit of ink in this month. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I love my inks. And I love this green sweater. Oh my goodness, it just looks like a cozy blanket. And we'll do a final count just to make sure we were accurate. I know y'all love counting paper with me. It's like my most fun thing to do ever. And this one. Oop. Okay. Might have to straighten that one up a little bit, but it will be fine. And then this one. Definitely not going to have time to sew them in. But let's use the flat side of the bone folder. How about that? Okay. So what I will do is pick a cover. I mean, it could be it could be this. Does that look better? I don't know. I like the Cinderella pumpkins, I think. And then have I try to alternate like one of these and then do one of these. And I can do a white side if I need to. Actually, in hindsight, maybe I should have... Where did my... Oh, my other teal. I don't want to put this one in right after that one. That one might be my centerfold. I don't know. So I could... Let's try this teal. Let's see how that looks like. How that looks with that. I think it looks okay with that. It's not the same teal, but I think it's okay. And then we have a white page. So let's put something that's going to be harder to match. Oh, wait. No, we need one of these. You know, one of these. And I think that matches that. And we have a white page. And then, have we used green yet? No. So we have green. Have we used one with a flap? No. So let's use a green. We have a lot that matches the green. I have the sweater. Yeah, let's use the sweater. Okay, and then I'm going to use the yellow. Because then I'm going to use this one. Because I think the yellow looks really good with that one. I think that's upright, right? Does that look better? I don't know. And then we have a teal. We haven't used a teal lately, but I think, what did we use last? Yellow, green. Let's go orange. And put this one here. Ruh-roh. Oh, we hadn't used the other one yet. Okay. So, that's that one. This one... Not time to use that one yet. This one, and then... Oh, we have to use a piece of scrapbook paper. Let's use this and this. Uh-oh. I did something wrong. I didn't count right. Oh, yeah. So then this. And yikes. That's not really going to work out that well, but it will work out with this one. And then that will be our center page. Okay. I'm gonna count. So let's look. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That one's 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And 16. Okay. Let's see what the back sides look like. Because, you know, the back sides of the paper look different on some of them. So that looks okay. That's okay. This is not my favorite, but it'll do. I mean, it's just green and yellow. We'll add some orange to it and add some pumpkins. It'll be fun. That one looks good. That's okay. That's good. That's fine. This is good. It's not really orange. It's looking more red on here, but I think we're going to leave it and let it go. And then I think that's okay. It's not ideal, but to have them every other one, that's what we kind of had to do. So I think that is going to be it for this particular part of the series or the video. This is what our journal is going to look like. I'm not sticking out too far in the middle, and this is what we're going to be. Now I may just sew it in without you. I might not. I don't know. Let me trim. Let me put these. Well, let me finish a sentence. I'm going to put some paper clips, if I can find them. I'm at least going to put one paper clip so that I don't jostle them. Here we go. My little tower of towers is going to fall down on me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little 3-drawer, those little Sterilite 3-drawer stackable drawers. You know what I'm talking about, the little cubes. I mean, they're bigger ones. They're not tiny. And then I have a tiny one on top of it. Okay, so this is the front of my journal. Let me trim this edge with my good scissors. Do you think we need to put... Eek. Do you think we need to put the ribbon on the back? That's hard to get in there. Okay, I guess I got it. Okay. And I will probably put a smidge of Fabri-Tac right on the edge of that. Just to keep that ribbon from pulling out. I think the rest of it's down pretty well. Oh, it's so nice to have a new bottle of glue. Oh my goodness. Actually, this was just the Beacon 3-in-1. It's not Fabri-Tac. I swear I ordered the Fabri-Tac, but it's all right. It's still, I think it's still basically the same thing. So, does the back look empty? I can put another strip. That's all I have of it, though. And I was sort of hoping to use it for, I mean, I still would have enough for tabs. You know, I was hoping to use some of it for, like, tabs on the inside. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Should I put it on the back, too, or just put some washi or something, or just rickrack? Or, I mean, I have teal rickrack. I think that would match that. I don't know for a fact. But, I kind of want something here. And I'm thinking I want this kind of rust-colored orange. Don't fall. I'm thinking I want this. Because I'm thinking it will... I'm doing a lot of thinking, y'all. I swear that's all I've done all day. For the last 2 days was think about this journal. What I was thinking is that it would join the commonalities of the two patterns. You know, the orange. I have a orangier orange somewhere that should not be too far under. I have orange gingham. Here's orange rickrack. Mercy. Let's see what the real orange looks like. Let's pull that off and see what this orange looks like. Okay, tell me what you think. Do you like the real orange? Or do you like the rust color? Or should I find... A lot of times I just use washi. So I have... This might be interesting. Well, here, why don't we introduce another pattern? I have this kind of plaid. I have this one that just... I don't want a pumpkin. Well, this one wouldn't be bad. This one wouldn't be bad. It's kind of generic. Don't need gobble gobble yet. Oh, I could put pumpkin everything. Oh, or this kind of gingham. This yellow and orange gingham. Okay, I want you to tell me in the comments which one you think I should use. Should I use a washi? And which one? And should I use... I like this pumpkin everything. Because 'tis the season, right? And there's pumpkins everywhere. So that's what that would look like. Or should I use the rickrack? And should I use the kind of rustier colored one? Or should I use the real orange one? Okay, those are things I need you to tell me in the comments, okay? All right, oh, I went over an hour. I'm so sorry. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you hung with me to the end, I appreciate it as always. I also have, wait a minute, because this has the teal in it. I have this leaf washi that would be pretty generic. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, because it has the teal and the orange in it. Okay, let me know what your thoughts, and I'm gonna let you go. And we got this much of it done, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring you back to sew it in. Yeah, maybe so. If I have enough comments, if I have enough people in the comments that tell me nay or yay on the rickrack or the washi or whatever, and the ribbon on the back, what I should do on the back, you know, let me know. And then, I mean, that obviously blends really nicely, but do we want it to blend really nicely, or do we want it to stand out? So let me know your thoughts, and I will see if I can video the next part of it. All right, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching, and I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.